Good day, journal. Who needs someone to speak to you upon waking? Who requires a motivational speech to encourage you to pursue the elusive happiness you seek? Who desires anything other than knowing the Spirit is still with you, that you are neither forsaken nor forgotten? Not you. You don't require anything but the love of the Creator and the grace and mercy that comes with that love. You don't need to talk to or have anyone talking to you upon waking. You only need the source of life to communicate and commune with you. Day after day, you wake up these days hugely different than you once were. Thankfully, you no longer suffer the ill effects of mental health reducing, human-caused subjugation that left you, primarily out of your mind. These days, you remain not at the top of anyone's mind, but a few folks in your life do mind you, meaning they pay you some attention. These days, you recognize you can't and won't be someone's first thought, and that is perfectly fine and should be the case. But at least you are no longer an afterthought. Today, you don't worry about being heard or seen because you know from your life as a serial best-selling, award-winning author and renowned global public intellectual that the one you needed to see you sees you and hears your cries. Fortunately for you, the divine always has space and time. You don't cry these days because of those who treated you not like a sounding board or sound event, but as an emotional pincushion. It's one thing for folks to blow off some steam. However, it's another thing when the empath that you are tries to take on the pains and sufferings of others like a pincushion. You remember the pincushion from home economics class in high school? Yes, the class you primarily took to be closer to the girls. Hormonal challenges aside, you know about the pincushion. The pincushion is a sewing tool in which you put as many pins and needles as possible. It symbolizes you're trying to absorb what hurts and ails others. As an emotional pincushion, you attempted to take the hits for others, particularly those you loved and adored, without complaining. You are not a pincushion. You're not the emotionally absorbing version, the mentally quicker picker-upper, or any other kind. You're not the bounty paper towels of humanity propulsion engineers. The Creator did not birth you to carry the weight of the world. Like all humans, the Infinite made you with broad shoulders and a solid base to lug your trials and tribulations. We all come to the planet completed with everything we need to live a full life. Life is not to be lived like you are walking your childhood sweetheart home from school. Life is not a Hallmark movie where you carry another's books home. You cannot tote the troubles that others have. What problems you have are yours. The troubles another has are theirs and theirs alone. Troubles like the books children carry from school today almost require a rolling book bag. It's doubtful you could tote your books and another's home from school these days. Let me assure you that doing so with any regularity is quite unlikely. Trying to do such a thing is how you make sure that troubles always last. It's also how you break not only your back, but also your spirit. Instead of trying to be a superhero, you only carry your trials and tribulations. No matter what others might convince you are truths about you, you are not faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Folks cannot look up in the sky if they like, but let me tell you that you are neither a bird, a plane, or Superman. You are just Nate. And so you lug your baggage because trying to take on a load of others merely makes it too heavy and too complicated to be who you want to be, to reach the destination you so desperately desire to stand. Per the gospel song, you carry your trials and tribulations so that troubles don't last always. Weeping may endure for a night. Keep the faith, it will be all right. Right? Trouble don't last always. Speaking of troubles, you can no longer be Chocolate Google. Chocolate Google is the extended version for those who haven't noticed your tradition of associating yourself with dark sexual chocolate. You're not Google. Never will you be Google. You have no aspirations to be an inanimate object people turn to for answers. The divine did not birth you to be an artificial intelligence for which, once people get the answer they search for, they go about their day without considering how you could give them the answer they sought. Long before ChatGPT, ChatNAT was seemingly there. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, you have a second? Need to ask you a question. Hey, I want to pick your brain for a moment. As if after picking your brain, they would return what they took. But alas, there was no return of the brain cells or brain power extracted. Instead, you were left after they picked your brain to go about the day as the scarecrow from The Wiz, wondering if you had a brain. It sometimes seems so dark and gloomy, as is your view of people. Well, at least that's how it felt to you. Dark times back then, gloomy ideations you had once upon a time, not all that long ago. Fortunately, today you are better. You are better because you decided to hear the one voice that empowered you. You decided to get engaged to the one who makes it possible for you to pay all the bills, the one who sets you free from all financial and familial obligations, the one who first called you into existence. Now life is better than ever because you made some much needed changes. You understood that you were powerless to do anything other than be the best version of yourself possible. You do not have the emotional, intellectual, or spiritual bandwidth to be a human pincushion. All your talk about helping, serving, and making sure others know their lives matter is still a mandate from the divine. There will never be a way to escape that mission. Still, what you no longer do is allow others to dictate what helping, serving, and making sure others know that their life matters mean. You don't have to be a doormat or an afterthought for anyone anymore. There is no mandate that you be a hostage to others' mental, emotional, or intellectual issues. The chance to live your life just as you always imagined no longer suffers the danger of being shortened by the shortcomings of others. Today, you don't have to do anything but abide by the call to love your Creator with all your heart, mind, and soul. You need only love your neighbor as you love yourself daily. All you need to do now is remain still. Stay quiet and know that the Spirit woke you and shall guide you again today. You are not a superhero or a pincushion.
Reflect and write. Have you been living your life worrying about being heard and seen? Have you been serving as an emotional pincushion for those in your life? Have you been taking the hits for those you love and adore? How has this impacted your ability to be the best version of yourself and live your best life? It is time to put the baggage of others down. Whose troubles have you been toting only to neglect your own? Have you been an afterthought for others and possibly even an afterthought for yourself? Now act. Remember, you are not a superhero nor a pincushion. You are not an afterthought, especially for yourself. Today, spend time journaling forward. What would your life look like if you made being the best version of yourself a priority, not an afterthought? Be specific, dream big, be clear. Without a vision, you won't ever get to the life the Creator has designed you to live. Today, you don't have to do anything but abide by the call to love your Creator with all your heart, mind, and soul. You need only love your neighbor as you love yourself daily. So begin to love yourself and live as a priority, not an afterthought. Now journey forward.